morning, President Donald Trump declares Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is dead, following Saturday's pre-dawn strikes targeting missile sites and nuclear facilities. The president says most of Iran's senior leadership is, quote, gone. Now, the strikes came after months of heightened tension and threats against American forces in the region. Now, Trump says diplomacy failed, and the goal is to prevent Iran from rebuilding its nuclear program. Iran has responded with missile attacks on U.S. bases and Israel, escalating fears of a broader conflict now. Trump administration officials say Iran was threatening American forces in the region with potential missile strikes, and the U.S. acted with the long-term goal of preventing Iran from rebuilding that nuclear program after U.S. and Israeli strikes last year.
We will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message.
Now, meanwhile, anti-war demonstrations have broken out across U.S. cities, including here in Atlanta. Organizers held a Stop the War on Iran rally Saturday right on Marietta Street.
War is not the answer. This president said that he's the president of peace, yet he's bombing Yemen, he's bombing Iran, he's bombing all around the world, kidnapping presidents of other countries. This has to end. This is not what we fought for. This is not what we stood for.
Organizers are calling for de-escalation and diplomacy. Now, meanwhile, in some Iranian cities, there have been public celebrations surrounding news of the death of the Ayatollah. Mass protests are also intensifying across the country. Now, here in Georgia, members of the Iranian American community say they are watching closely. Many say that they are struggling to reach loved ones back home right now. The president of the Iranian American community of Georgia tells 11 Alive that she wants to see new leadership in Iran and has called on the world to stand with the Iranian people as they pursue their hard-earned freedom and liberty. Well, this morning we are now.
For us, it's very important that for the world to stand with our resistance. We are fighting with this regime since 1981. The Iranian resistance has a National Council of Resistance that it has started since 1981. And unfortunately, because of the policy of appeasement that has gone for 47 years, this regime get to the point that it is right now.
Well, at the airport, passengers breathed a sigh of relief after they were on one of the last flights out of Abu Dhabi. Flights across the Middle East are canceled due to the missile strikes. 11 Alive's Galat Malamed spent the day at Hartsfield-Jackson speaking to those passengers just moments after they landed on U.S. soil.
Minutes made the difference between this plane landing safely in Atlanta or still being in Abu Dhabi.
They literally closed the airspace right after we left.
The Etihad Airways flight from Abu Dhabi to Hartsfield-Jackson was one of the last to leave the city after the U.S. and Israel's missile strikes on Iran and Iran's retaliatory strikes across the region shut down much of the Middle East's airspace.
I can't believe we got out. The timing is unbelievable.
Minnie Diol Olson says she turned on the news shortly after takeoff.
That's when I saw, oh my gosh, this is like these strikes are happening right around us.
Early into the flight, she and other passengers like Halpina Prasad noticed a change in the flight path.
My husband pointed out that the flight tracker showed that the flight had taken a long curve, a really long, useless curve into the area and then coming back to where we were.
Passengers tell me Etihad crew members told them the path was to get out of the region as quickly as possible. They say the pilot first made an announcement about what was going on shortly before they had to land in New York to refuel.
We were just so happy that we were able to land to JFK. Nobody was complaining that we were landing in JFK.
Both women tell me they were concerned about a retaliatory attack on their plane.
It occurred to me that what if we get a missile strike at our plane? I know that sounds really weird, but you know, your mind goes to these places.
When Olson finally made it back to the U.S., one of the first things she did was contact her nephew in Dubai.
There's missile strikes going on around him. He's hearing booms and that kind of thing. As much as I'm going, oh my gosh, we got out, I'm worried about him.
Galat Malamed, 11 Alive News.
And right now on his website, Etihad Airways says it's suspending all flights in and out of Abu Dhabi until 2 p.m. UAE time today, saying its safety is its highest priority. All right.